Hi besties, welcome or welcome back to the channel. I'm doing a 24-hour readathon. It's been a minute since I've done one of these. I kind of took a break from doing them because they were quite literally like ruining my life. They weren't ruining my life. It's just I started like I was reading probably too much last year doing these because that was when I started to have like the 20 plus reading wrap-ups. Anyways, so I just really honestly have nothing to do for the next 2 days and I want to, como se dice, rot. You know what I mean? I want to rot in bed. I want to read. I don't want to leave my apartment. I am making sourdough. Like, I'm crocheting. Life is good right now, which means naturally I don't want to leave my apartment. So I have 5 books that I really want to read over the next 24 hours. However, I'm really just going to be mood reading, honestly, for this readathon. I don't have a theme just because like at the end of the month, I will be doing a themed 24-hour readathon. If you know, you know. So I'm going to quickly go through the books that I have on here that like I know I do want to get to. I'm only allowed to read from my Kindle or from my Audible if I already own the physical copy. I would like to get through my physical TBR as much as possible this year because then I'm going to end up wanting to go and buy the books that I ended up reading, and that's not the point of this. The point is to save money, not spend it. The first book that I have is The Proposal Play by Lauren Blakely. I have the audiobook already loaded for this. I think it's technically an ARC. Actually, I think it came out yesterday. And that's neither here nor there. I would really like to go ahead and get this finished. This is the 3rd book, I believe, in her Love and Hockey series. I've read the first 2, had so much fun with them, so this is, I think, the one that we're probably going to start with today because I'm really excited to read it, and I love Miss Lauren Blakely. She's a sweetheart. So, then I have The False Flat by Melissa R. Collings. I actually got an ARC of this literally like towards the beginning of 2024, and between like getting married, getting sick, like it just, I did not end up reading it. I just figured out that the audiobook is included in Kindle Unlimited, so I will be reading this today. I'm really excited to read it actually. So it's just been calling my name for the past couple of days, so I will be reading that. I also have The Rose Bargain by Sasha Smith, which is I guess like a new fantasy book that's coming out next month, so I got the ARC for it. I would like to read it as well. Apparently I'm just reading ARCs this video. Then we have The Things We Leave Unfinished by Rebecca Yarros. This is also included on Kindle Unlimited, and the audiobook is included on Kindle Unlimited. So I've been like I've been wanting to read this book for so long, and I feel like after reading The Nightingale, I've been really wanting to read it because like for whatever reason those 2 books are like synonymous in my brain. So I have no idea what it's about. I know it has something to do with like letters, and that's all that I know. And then my current read, which is Winter Garden by Kristen Hanna. I started this immediately after finishing The Nightingale because I do need to read any and all of Kristen Hanna's books. So I would like to finish this as well. This is a much shorter one than The Nightingale was. So I'm hoping this won't take me too long. So I'm doing the 12-hour method because quite frankly, I need my sleep. I'm not gonna sleep deprive myself, but I most likely will end up kind of sleep depriving myself because it's already 10:30 a.m. Probably gonna start this at like 10:45. I need to get a couple of things situated. We're literally just gonna start reading. The first book that I am going to read though is The Proposal Play by Lauren Blakely. I've been reading a lot of heavy books recently, so I just want something that's gonna be fun, and I know this will be fun. So we're gonna read that first. Let's go. I'm gonna make my coffee. I'll see y'all back at 10:45. Quick break for a second to talk about my newest hobby that you guys know I've been obsessed with, which is crocheting, which also brings us to the sponsor of today's video, which is Skillshare. If you guys have not heard me talking about Skillshare before, y'all have been literally hiding underneath a rock because Skillshare is single-handedly the reason why I've been able to start crocheting different stuff. A class that I took that I absolutely loved to help me kind of get like the basics down of the crocheting was Crash Courses in Crochet with Connie Lee Basic Stitches. Definitely a mouthful, but so helpful. With the new year ringing in, I feel like it's a really good time to start new skills, get creative, kind of set the tone for what you want your 2025 to look like. And I feel like a lot of us prioritize work and other things over our creative side, or taking crafty skills that we had and making them better. I literally love anything that I can do that is more on the creative side, so Skillshare has been instrumental in that process. And the beautiful thing about Skillshare is that they have literally something for everyone. Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives, and thousands of led classes by industry experts across film, illustration, design, freelance, productivity, and literally so much more. Skillshare can help take your career skills, hobbies, passions, or side hustles all to the next level. Whether you're wanting to gain skills in content creation, reading faster, crocheting, something to do while you're listening to audiobooks, or even like business skills, because these classes are taught by industry experts, you can really learn anything and go from a beginner to very advanced pretty quickly. I love Skillshare so much, and I genuinely love what they have to offer, and I really want to share that with you guys. So the first 500 people to use my link in the description will get a free month of premium Skillshare use. Thank you, Skillshare. Now let's get back to the video. Okay, let's do an update because I just finished with the first hour of the readathon, and I have finished, I think, like 2 or 3 hours of, I think it's 2 hours. I don't know. I am 100 or so I'm 120 pages into the proposal play by Lauren Blakely, and I'm really enjoying it. The thing is, like, I knew I was going to enjoy it because Lauren Blakely's books, like, are not so, like, what's the word? They're not books that you go to that are for like really dense reading or whatever. They're just like fun, a good time books. They're easy to get through. They're really fun to listen to. We're following Maeve and Asher, and Maeve is a broke artist. Like, she is just trying to make it, okay? Asher is this like famous hockey player. He's the third hockey player that we're following from the I forgot what the hockey team is named, but it's the third. Like, we've had 3 MMCs from this same hockey team, and what ends up happening is they're best friends, right? They've known each other for quite a while. They met in grief counseling. They end up just like being best friends after that. Like, they just start spending a lot of time together. He has like this, oh my gosh, auction for charity. What they do is they auction dates off with players from the team. So she ends up winning the auction for Asher, actually having so much fun with it right now. I'm just vibing. It's such a good break from reading like super heavy books, because I was reading Redeeming Love yesterday. I was reading Winter Garden last night. I finished The Nightingale yesterday. So like, I've had just so many back-to-back, like, very dense, sad reads. So getting to read something like this is a much needed change of pace. I do want to go to the gym. I think I'm gonna eat something, and I think I'm gonna go to the gym, and I'll probably like listen to my audiobook while I'm walking on the treadmill and while I'm stretching, but then while I'm actually doing my workout, I probably won't. Okay, y'all, I am like 230 pages into the proposal play now. I just got home from the gym and changed clothes and everything like that, but I think I'm going to switch books now. I think this is gonna be like my audiobook book for today, like whenever I want to crochet or something like that, because listening to it through BookFunnel, and BookFunnel only goes to 3 times speed, and that I can't do that if I'm like sitting and reading, which is what I want to do now. So I'm gonna put this one down for the moment. I'm very much enjoying it. It is so fun. I love Asher. He's so sweet. We're starting to get like into their marriage now, where like they just decided that they're actually gonna stay fake married for a bit. So I'm absolutely loving that. I'm going to finish Winter Garden by Kristen Hanna because I can't stop thinking about this book. Let's do a reading update because I have 6.5 hours left of today's reading, and I have 35 minutes left of Winter Garden by Kristen Hanna, and it's really worrisome right now simply because I haven't cried yet. Like, I'm scared because I cried a little bit during the Nightingale, like halfway through, and then it wasn't until the last like 35 minutes of the book that I was absolutely sobbing. So I'm really scared. Now, I'm not loving this one as much as I loved The Nightingale. I think it's because the characters, like, for whatever reason, like, I didn't resonate with the characters more in The Nightingale, but I don't know, I just felt more for them. And I'm not necessarily, like, I'm loving this dynamic, but I also feel like this would hit if you don't have a great relationship with your mom. I feel like that's like your personal life, and how your personal life is going would definitely, I feel like, make or break you crying in this book. But yeah, I have 6 hours and 25 minutes left. I forgot that I have a work call at 6:30, so I have 2 more hours to just like sit and read before I have to go and do that, and then I'll stop the timer. I'm actually probably not going to stop the timer for that. I'm going to be so for real with you. I started a new crochet project because I was bored. I'm working on a sweater right now, and hopefully it'll turn out right. I didn't actually measure this. Oh, good. This is going to be a cropped sweater. Oh, good. Oh, good. Great, actually. No, like, that's so chill. Measure, ladies and gentlemen. Measure. That was so unnecessary. Hey, I just finished this. God, I need to get yourself together, Jolie. For the love of all that is good, get yourself together. Oh my gosh. Okay, I take back what I said about that book not being sad. Like, it wasn't sad, but like at the same time it was. There's just like something about Kristen Hanna and the way that she writes women and their strength, and like the strength that they have, like it coming from their families and like needing to be strong for their family, so that's what they do. And okay, whoever recommended me that book, it's on site. No, because like it's on site. That was a beautifully written story. Kristen Hanna continues to write beautifully written stories, but oh my gosh, that one hurt. It did not hurt until the last 2 to 3 chapters. The last 2 to 3, I was fine. I thought I was gonna get out of this unscathed until those last 3 chapters. Yeah, okay, that was unnecessary. I need happiness. I need to get away from that for a second. So we're not gonna go back to this actually. It's 5:10. I have an hour, a little over an hour, until I have to like go on my work call, and I know the things we leave unfinished is going to make me want to cry too. So I'm gonna switch to The False Flat by Melissa R. Collins, and I'm hoping that this is not as emotional of a read as the others I know are going to be. I also, whenever I want a fantasy book, I know I talked about earlier, I do have the Rose Bargain, so I might start that like either tonight or tomorrow, just in case like I need something that is a little bit happier. But that hurt. Yeah, I'm not even gonna like sugarcoat that. Like, that just hurt. That hurt my feelings. Okay, I'm gonna take a little bit of a break, or like a 15-minute break, and then I'll come back with the next book that I'm reading. Hey, hi, this is Jolie coming live to you from being an idiot. I started The False Flat in a couple of minutes because I have to hop on my work call in a couple minutes. And so I just wanted to like get a couple of pages into it and see like what my initial thoughts were going to be. I am 12 pages into this book and am very upset I did not read it sooner. Yeah, okay, so listen, this is just another scenario of Jolie being stupid and putting books off for like no reason, and then finally when I start them I'm like, where have you been my whole life? Loosely, the premise of this book, I say loosely because I'm literally like 12 pages in, but it's about this girl who had like a really bad job. She wasn't in a great spot. She feels like nothing that she has done like in her work life, relationship wise, like nothing really like belongs to her, and so she goes and makes this big move. She moves from Minnesota to Tennessee to kind of like create her own life, basically. The narrator, I love. There's something about her voice that is scratching an itch in my brain, and I'm absolutely loving it. So I know this audiobook is going to be good, but then also just the way that Melissa writes, I'm very much liking it so far. Like, it kind of honestly feels like an Emily Henry-esque kind of writing style to me, which is very high praise because we know how I feel about Emily Henry. The main character is biracial, which is something that like I don't think I've ever read a book where the main character is biracial, and I am biracial, so it's just like, I don't know, it's really, it makes sense though, because I think Melissa, the author, I think she is biracial, so like naturally that's gonna be more of her characters, but like I'm really excited about it. I have a really good feeling about this book. Good morning, everybody. It is the next morning now. It's 8:30 a.m. I did not wake up nearly as early as I wanted to, but such is life. I did not end up reading anything else last night after my work call. I literally like got off the work call, cleaned my kitchen, took a shower, and then I was just ready for bed, so I went to bed. But we're gonna restart the 12 hours again this morning and see how much reading I get done. I'm really liking The False Flat so far. I am 40 pages into it. That's like where I finished off last night. We're just now getting to the point where she moves to Nashville and she's like creating a new life for herself, basically. I'm relating to the main character just a little too much. So the main character has this thing where she like just doesn't feel like she can relate to people very well, and she like is really not one to have friends or anything like that. And for the longest time, that was me. Like for the longest time, and even still, like sometimes I'll catch myself doing that, where it's like it's just easier to distance yourself from people than to like actually be friends with people. And it's not that like I don't want to be friends, and it's not that I don't want to relate, but it's just like finding a way to actually relate to people. It's something that you don't really read about a ton, I feel like, or at least I don't read about a ton. And so, I don't know, it's just weird having like all of like my thoughts growing up put down on paper in front of me, and then also having the main character be biracial in the same way that I'm biracial. Like it's a really weird feeling. And I don't know if I'm liking it, or if it's just like, oh my gosh, this is like kind of weird because like this is my life. You know what I mean? I don't know, but I'm liking it. I'm having fun with the book. I do think I'm gonna end up like very much enjoying this. So we're gonna start the timer, and I'm probably just gonna go sit at my table and read for a bit because I just really want to get back into this book. I've wasted enough time, so let's reset the timer. Okay, so I thought I was taking a little bit of a breaky break from the emotional turmoil of Kristen Hanna. This book said, "How you thought all I wanted was an emotional break." I'm gonna move you over here. Is that better? I feel like it is. All I wanted was an emotional break from the sadness and the hurt and the pain. And this is the thanks that I get? This is what I get. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna do like all of my reviews at the end, but I just want to say that was hurtful. That was painful. 11:45 a.m. I have 8 hours and 43 minutes left of today's reading. I don't know I need to read something happy. I just don't want to feel pain anymore. Is that too much to ask? I don't know what I'm gonna read next, to be so honest with you. I just like, I hurt. Anyways, here's the progress that I made in this sweater. I used obviously like one of the the carrion cakes or whatever. It's like a, I don't know what you would call it. Blueberry shortcake is the name of the yarn. So I'm really excited about how this is gonna turn out because I love blues and I feel like it's perfect for winter. And I just want to keep working on this, but I need to pick another book and I'm scared. I do want another audiobook though because I do want to crochet for a little bit longer. I think I am gonna switch places though, and because I actually like the lighting in here because it's easier to see. I was struggling with the sweater yesterday because it's like it was so hard to see it in there because it's like, I mean, for the most part it's a dark yarn and it's so dark in my library because I don't like there to be light in there. Anyways, okay, I've decided that I'm gonna read Love Light Farms by B.K. Borson because I've just been wanting to read a Christmas book for some reason. I don't know the science behind this. I'm not gonna ask any questions. This book has been calling my name for the past couple of days, and I sincerely need this to just be fluffy and lighthearted, okay? I need this to be fun. I need this to be fun, okay? Hear me. It's also so freaking cold in my apartment right now. Let's read. Okay, let's do an update, shall we? It is quite literally 2:30 right now. I have a little under 7 hours left for today, and I just accidentally sat here and binged almost most of this book. I'm on chapter 17, which is like almost 200 pages. It's a little under 200 pages into the book. 115 pages left. I don't know how that happened. I'm loving Love Light Farms so far. Super cute, super fun. This was exactly the change of pace that I needed. Your girl needed something that was not so doom and gloom, and this was definitely that for me. I'm loving that so much. I just like, Luca is so baby. You know what I mean? Like, there isn't like a better way to describe him other than like he's baby. Like, it makes sense in my head, and whether or not it makes sense to you doesn't really do anything for me. It makes sense to me, and that's all that matters. But so here's the thing. I want to make sourdough bread. My starter is in there, and it's like she's rising. She's about ready for me to bake her. My only thing is I don't have bread flour, and I need to go to the grocery store anyways. So I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to eat, because I haven't eaten anything today. I realized it's almost 3 o'clock, and anyways. So I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm just going to eat really quickly, go run to the grocery store, and then we'll come back and read for a little bit. I do have some impromptu plans for tonight, so I don't know how much reading I'm going to get done for the rest of the night because I have not left my apartment in days, and so I desperately need some human connection. So I'm probably going to go have dinner with my brother, and we might go dancing tonight. So what that means is any time that's left on the timer for today, I'm just going to do tomorrow. So it'll just be like, how many books can I read like in the span of 24 hours? Because I don't want to not go out and then end up driving myself crazy and getting more depressy. So my mental health, we're putting her first, okay? I promise I will do like a solid 24-hour challenge at some point. I will do it. Aside from that, I'm going to keep listening to this because I'm making hard-boiled eggs, so I'm just gonna keep listening to this until she's done, and then I'm gonna go layer up to go to the grocery store. I think it's time for an update, shall we? So it is the next day. I have 5 hours and 44 minutes left on the timer, which we're going to finish today. But I wanted to give y'all an update because I finished Love Light Farms by B.K. Borson. So cute, so very good. Like I said, we'll do all of the reviews like at the very end of the video. But now I have to pick the next book that I want to read. And my options for this, I don't really have a ton. Wait, actually, I know I have quite a few. After much deliberation, I've decided that I'm going to start The Deal by Elle Kennedy because I have this audiobook loaded on my Audible already, and I have an embarrassing amount of Elle Kennedy books. Like literally this whole, wait, where is it? This whole section here and these two are all Elle Kennedy books, and I have not read a single book by her. And I don't know how I'm going to enjoy this, but we're gonna try it. We're gonna see. I figured I would do this with you guys because I know a lot of y'all also, I hate this cover. I hate this cover. Yeah, I know it's like, I think it's like college, obviously off campus. I'm assuming it's like college drama, like hockey I think that's what it is. So we're gonna go into it. It shouldn't necessarily take me like that long to read it. We're just going to go ahead and start that. Okay, so I'm almost 200 pages into the deal, which is almost, I think it's exactly halfway through it. And okay, look, I'm enjoying this book. However, I'm enjoying it in the way that's like, I can't relate to anyone in this book. At this point, I'm literally just reading it for like amusement's sake and just like for the sake of not crying. Because like what I do want to do is I want to read a Kristen Hanna book or possibly a Rebecca Yarros book. And I know that that's going to lead to tears. So this is me preserving like my emotions and whatnot. I am getting through it pretty quickly. Like I said, I'm already like almost 200 pages in and we have 4 hours and 11 minutes left. So, I mean, like, I'm getting through it quickly. So I'm literally just gonna sit and I think crochet for a little bit and just continue to listen to it. Cause I'm really feeling so lazy today, to be so honest with you. I went to the gym this morning before I started reading again and I made myself some lunch and now I'm literally just like, I don't really want to do anything. You know what I mean? Like I was gonna clean, but I'm not doing that. I'll just do that later whenever I'm done reading. But let's just start crocheting. Let me show you what I'm working. Okay, so this weekend, Tyler took me to go get some more yarn because I don't really have like a ton of yarn. So I'm kind of like, yeah, I also get this thing in my head where like I start 50 million projects and then like hopefully finish one. Anyways, I'm currently working on a sweater right now. And I got this amazing purple, like super fluffy yarn. And so I'm working on like the front of the sweater. We're going this way. Super excited to finish it, hoping that it goes well. This is my first time making like a wearable for crochet. So that's just kind of like what I'm going to be working on for a little bit. Hey besties. Okay, so it's the next morning. I did finish my reading last night. I just really was not feeling great, so I didn't film it, but I did want to give you obviously all of the reviews for everything that I read. I will also tell y'all like the format that I read them in and where I got them from because I get a lot of questions about that, so I just figured I would answer like all of that in this little review section because for some of these I did need like a minute to kind of just like figure out how I felt about them before I actually like talked about them and gave you my review. And also because we were doing the challenge, I didn't want to waste like a ton of time doing reviews. I will say I don't think this was my best 24-hour readathon. I think I was just like, I've been like in a weird state the past like week or so, and so I feel like that was translated into here. So I'm so sorry about that. I will be bringing back like my real like 24-hour readathons where I just sit and do nothing but read. I'm just finding it hard to like make them feel interesting, I guess, because I'm only doing one thing for 24 hours. But anyways, the first book that I read for this challenge, I feel like it was the first book that I finished, was Winter Garden by Kristen Hanna. This book was the reason why I decided to wait to do the reviews till the end because I could not articulate truly how I felt about this book. You're following Meredith and Nina, who are sisters, and neither of them are very close to their mother at all. Like they don't know anything about her. They know she's Russian and that's pretty much it. They've been trying to do whatever they can to get closer to their mother and she's just really not having it. And their father ends up passing and one of his like parting wishes was to try to get her to tell them this like story that she never wanted to finish because her thing was that she would tell them stories as a kid, and there was one story in particular that she wouldn't ever finish, and so like their goal after their father passes is to get her to tell them the rest of this story. This book made me sob the last like 20-30 pages. Y'all saw that. I was good. I was in the clear literally until the last sliver of this book because I was thinking like for a good majority of this book I did not connect with any of the main characters. Like it wasn't something that like I felt like strongly attached to, and so because of that I was able to not really have like strong emotions. until the very end of the book, where it just felt like it wasn't necessarily a sad ending, but it was just one of those endings that like melts your heart but also like makes you sad for the characters at the same time. I loved it though. The fact that this book was so short and it went by so fast, but it felt so like there was so much story packed into it. Kristen Hanna is literally like, she is one of the best authors ever. The way that she writes people and the way that she writes really, really hard situations, but like makes them realistic. And it's just, every time I read her book, I genuinely feel like I'm reading like about a person's life. And it just makes it like so much harder to read it. Because like some sad books are sad, but you don't feel like you're reading a real person's book. You just feel like, okay, this is a story, like, you know, it is what it is. Her characters feel so real. They feel so real. And this one, yeah, this one was tough because it mixed like her historical fiction with like a contemporary fiction or like a drama, whatever you want to call it. So it felt really weird because it obviously like they did have some like historical fiction themes, like we're talking about Russia, I don't know when, Leningrad in the 1940s to modern day Alaska. Like it's just such a wide range. But I loved it. It was a 5-star read for me. I would absolutely recommend to anyone and everyone. I read this book on Kindle Unlimited. I read most of the physical book, but like for a bit of it, I did read the Kindle version. And I listened to the audiobook for almost all of it. So I was like immersive reading for part of it. I was immersive reading for almost all of it, I guess I should say. The audiobook was free on Kindle Unlimited, so I got it from there. I didn't have to buy it. Then the next one that I finished in hopes of a emotional reprieve was The False Flat by Melissa R. Collings. And this book also, it didn't make me cry, but it was like really sad. Like I was not expecting this book to be as emotionally hitting as it was by the end of it. I'm very upset. This book follows Penelope, who at the start of this book, she's working this job with a boss that really she does not like. He does not care about her. Like it's a toxic work environment. She's dating this guy who is also awful. So she ends up picking up and moving from Illinois, I believe. No, Minnesota. Honestly, all those like northern states, they kind of feel like the same place in my mind. I'm so sorry I said that. I love you northerners. I just live in Texas. So this like feels like it's a country and it's okay. So anyways, this is so far beyond the point. She moves from Minnesota to Nashville. She gets a new job at Nashville. She meets new friends and she's trying to like separate her lives basically. She's trying to completely start over new, but there are things from her life in Minnesota that are kind of like leaking over to her new life in Nashville, and so it's making it harder for her to let go of what was happening in Minnesota. Very, very much enjoyed this book. I would probably give it like 4 stars. 4 stars would be my rating for it. I was not expecting it to be sad, and then it turned, well, it wasn't necessarily like sad, but it was sad. Like it was sad. But it didn't hit like this is a tragedy. You know what I mean? Like it was, but I don't know how to explain it. It was more like this book, you did this to the main character. How could you do this to her? You know what I mean? Anyways, I also was telling y'all how like this was the first time that I had read a book with a biracial, like same kind of biracial as I am, like a main character. It's the first time I've ever read a book like that before, so it was very interesting because like some of the same struggles that like she was having, I've also had, and so it was very cathartic, I guess, for that reason. Like not feeling good enough for one or the other side. Like it's just it was nice to actually be able to read a book like that. It's not something that I search for really, because I generally don't care if my main characters look like me or not, but like yeah, it was just interesting because like a lot of the same things that she would say I've said in my head, and so it was just really cool to read about. It's on Kindle Unlimited. I did buy the audiobook for it on Audible, so I read the physical book. I didn't read the Kindle version of this book, I just read it physically and I listened to it, so I immersive read for most of it, and then I also for a little bit, like when I was doing the dishes, I listened to the audiobook. So that's kind of how I did that. Anyways, yeah, this was not exactly what I was looking for, but I am happy that I read it. So then I also went in and finished Love Light Farms by BK Borison. This was what I was looking for, okay? This was cutie, this was fun, it was very entertaining, and I loved the MMC and the FMC in this book, but like I really loved the MMC of this book. We're following Stella and Luca. Listen, I love a main character named Luca. This was the first main character of the MMC. This was the first MMC that I'd read about where his name was Luca, and I literally will never be the same. I love a main character named Luca thanks to this book. Stella, she went and she bought this Christmas tree farm with some, like, not family inheritance, but like she bought the farm, okay? It doesn't really matter how. The farm is in trouble of going under. She's not making enough money as she like needs to in order to keep the farm up and running. And so there's like this social media contest that she ends up entering. Catches as she enters it under the guise of having like starting this Christmas tree farm with her boyfriend. Yeah, only problem with that is Stella is single. She's as single as can be. She is not having very much luck in the dating aspect, right? Well, she doesn't really like want to date technically. Anyways, she ends up using Luca as her like fake date or her fake boyfriend because she ends up getting entered into this contest, and the person who's running the contest is like this Instagram person or whatever, and she comes in. And so they have to fake date. I love this book so much. This book was cutie. It was fun. It wasn't my favorite, like absolute favorite 10-star, like I would give this book all the stars. I rated it a 3 stars. I probably could bump it up to like a 3.5. I would still highly recommend it. It was cute. It was fun. I did enjoy it. It just wasn't like, it wasn't something that like really got to me or anything like that. I literally just read this because I needed a fluffy, fun romance read after reading Winter Garden and The Falls Flat. So that's kind of just what I picked that up for. It was still really good. Yeah, she was good. She was good. She was good. I would recommend. I did mostly do this on audio just because I was crocheting. So like I think I sat and read the first like half of this book, and then after that I literally was like, oh, I'll just like crochet for like 20-30 minutes, like just get a little bit. I literally sat there and crocheted for the rest of this book. On accident though. It was on accident. But yeah, I read the physical book, didn't pick up the Kindle version of this book because it wasn't on Kindle Unlimited, so I didn't get it. And I had bought the audiobook for it a while ago, so I used that. Then the most shocking read of this challenge, The Deal by Elle Kennedy. I did read her. I did finish her. I did mostly physical reading for this. I switched between, actually I think I just read the Kindle version of this book. I did not really pick up the physical copy just because yesterday I was not in a physical copy kind of mood. I wanted to read the physical or the Kindle version. Basically, our main character is like fake dating this hockey player, like big man on campus or whatever, just to catch the eye of a football player, I think, basketball player, I don't know. Anyways, and so she ends up like helping tutor him, and he helps her with like her love problems. That's literally it. And I will say, I actually had fun with this book. Like, it wasn't bad. I was expecting in the first like 50 to 100 pages to not really care about it, but I actually ended up like kind of enjoying it. I'd probably rate this book like a 4 stars. I'm not giving it a 5-star. I will give it a 4-star though. Like, it was fun. I had fun with it, and I would continue on with the series. I think I'm going to continue on with the series. How far into the series? Who knows? Because I know that there's like 4 other books in this off-campus series, and then there's the Briar U series, which I'm assuming is like the football or the basketball or whatever. Yeah, I liked it. I will say there were some tropes I was expecting to be included into this book that I'm really happy Elle Kennedy did not put in this book. I feel like it would have made it too like cliche. The way that she went about writing these characters and writing the situations that came up, I very much enjoyed, because like it didn't make me feel some type of way about the MMC, which is like really easy to do. So I think that's probably why I ended up like really enjoying this book by the end, because like I was kind of scared about halfway through that it was going to take the normal kind of like, he's this popular like tortured dude, and you know, you break his heart so he's gonna break yours. Like, I thought that that's kind of the direction that it was going to go in, and it didn't. So I was very happy about that. I still hate this cover. Like, I don't want to go, because I literally own the whole series, so I don't want to go and buy like the rebrands of these covers, because I actually hate those too. But like, this is just bad, you know what I mean? Like, why? Anyways, I'm not gonna go there. Then the book that I started, actually, let's see how far I got into it. Okay, so I got like 50 pages into Home is Where the Bodies Are by Geneva Rose. I've read one romance book by Geneva Rose, and I have DNF'd her only other like thriller that I read by her, which was The Perfect Marriage. So I was starting this one literally just because I already had the audiobook for it. I knew it was on Kindle Unlimited, and I knew I had the physical copy version of it. So that's literally the only reason why I started it, and it was like really short. So I know I'm gonna be able to finish this book like today. From what I've read of it, it just follows these 3 siblings who recently like lost their mother, and years prior to that they had also lost their father. And so you're literally just like following them in the wake of like after losing their mother and not having any parents, but also something kind of cryptic that happened right before the mother passed. So it's literally like I'm just now getting into the story. I'm enjoying it where I am. Depending on how it goes, obviously I can't rate this book because I haven't finished it, but I do think there's potential for me to end up enjoying it. Like I'm actually into the story. I was listening to the audiobook while I was like doing like cleanup in the kitchen before I went to bed. I have less than 2 hours of the audiobook, so I will probably be listening to this while I do my sourdough things today. Anyways, yeah, but this was the last book that I finished on. I didn't read anything else. I will be attempting to do another 24-hour readathon because I feel bad. I feel like this one was just like not up to par, you know what I mean? But sometimes life is like that, you know? Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Like I said, I am sorry it wasn't as good as it could have been, but I love you guys so much, and I will be doing more 24-hour readathons. What is the next video that y'all want to see from me? I'm filming a reading vlog right now, actually, so that's gonna come out next. But then like after that, what do y'all want to see? What's the vibe? I did the bookshelf tour. Y'all saw me count my books. I really have not gotten new books since me doing that bookshelf tour. If you guys want to see my face on any other place on the internet, of course just check out the links in my description. I do just want to say, if you followed me from TikTok, hi, I know we're going through it over there on TikTok right now. Hopefully we don't get shut down, but if we do, I love you guys so much for following me over here. Hello, hi, what videos do y'all want to see? My sweet little babies, because y'all, I started with y'all, you know what I mean? I love all my YouTube girlies, and y'all are like, I love y'all. I feel like this is like split custody, or like parting with like my favorite child, like, but at the same time, like, you can't pick your favorite child. I don't know, if y'all don't know, if the YouTube people don't know, TikTok is about to get shut down. I feel like that's been everywhere. So yeah, TikTok will probably get shut down, and with that means that I'm losing a lot of girlies over there. So I really hope that doesn't happen. But in the event that it does, thank y'all for following me over here. I love y'all. What videos y'all want to see next, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye bye.